Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are out here at Hickory Grove Cemetery in Laurel, Mississippi to visit the grave of another great actor. He can go in the Green Acres playlist as I compile it. We're here to see Tom Lester. Now, if you don't know that name, you're going to know that he played Eb on Green Acres. And so, find a grave. GPS has pointed me in this direction. So I'm going to walk around and look at some of these older stones, and we're going to talk about Mr. Lester and celebrate his life and pay our respects and find his grave, wherever it may be. Oh, before I forget, as always, let me get the ad out of the way and say, if this is your first time here, welcome. If you don't mind, subscribe, like, share, do all the things if you like the video. And if this isn't your first time, hey, welcome back. I hope you enjoy the content. And with all of that little crap out of the way that I have to do at the beginning, let's now look at some of these older stones and talk a little bit about Mr. Lester, shall we? So as we walk around, I noticed a few of these as I came in. Lester was born here in Laurel, Mississippi, where we're at, and in 1948, he became a born-again Christian and became heavily involved in the Baptist Church. Now that's a unique piece, isn't it? 1906 was his death date. At the time, he said he thought the Lord's plan for his life would deliver him to Hollywood to embark on an acting career. He discussed his plans and dreams of becoming an actor with his parents. Big dreams, right? Even though so many go out there, a few make it. Wow, this ground is soft. It's been raining a lot. After he graduated from Laurel High School, he attended the University of Mississippi, where he received his Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry and Biology. Now, if that doesn't tell you anything, Mr. Lester was a smart man. Not only religious, but smart to have a Bachelor in Science and Chemistry. He briefly attended graduate school at the University of Southern Mississippi, but acting was his main passion, his true love, his calling, right? After moving to Hollywood, Lester met radio and character actress Lorene Tuttle, who became his friend and acting coach. She suggested he begin work in a little theater, which he did acting and showcases at the North Hollywood Playhouse. It's a shame that some of these have fell over, Bessie Ross Bostic. Now, if that doesn't say that name, that's kind of cool, isn't it? I love older names. They're so cool. In the early 1960s, Lester appeared in a play with CBS producer Paul Henning's daughter, who was Betty Jo on Petticoat Junction. And Lester soon found himself auditioning for the role of Eb Dawson, farmhand to Oliver Wendell Douglas, played by Eddie Albert on Green Acres.
Bye! That's Eb. Who can he be talking to at 3 o'clock in the morning? Bye! So long! Eb? Oh, hi, Mr. Douglas.
Would you mind telling me who you're talking to?
Oh, just the people in the flying saucer. Did you see it?
Sure. Oh, yeah. It was round and silver and had two little green men in it.
That's the one.
Eb, you're walking in your sleep. Now go to bed.
But Mr.
Good night.
Dingle Burvis.
What?
That's what they said when they took off. I think it means good night.
Well, dingle Burvis to you, and don't wake us up again.
There's one over here that I want to walk over to. A lot that you see that way, a lot of that's newer cemetery. This is the older part. Lester later said he won the role because he was the only actor who auditioned that knew how to milk a cow, since he grew up on a farm here in Mississippi. His recurring role soon became a regular character due to the character and the show's popularity, which made Lester a household name. I remember watching him. I was watching reruns, but I remember watching him growing up. See, all of these have got new pieces, but they are from the early 1900s. The several Green Acres characters also appeared in episodes of two other CBS series, Petticoat Junction and the Beverly Hillbillies. Lester occasionally appeared on those shows as the character from Green Acres. Lester lived modestly in a small apartment over a garage in San Fernando Valley. Each year during the show's summer hiatus, he would travel the country and speak at churches, youth rallies, and revivals. And at one time, he worked for the Reverend Billy Graham, which, as a little cheesy plug, if you want to, you can go back in the videos and see where I visited Billy Graham's grave. And this must be the family plot right here. I parked the car right next to it and didn't even know it. After Green Acres, Lester was typecast as Eb Dawson, and in 1990 he reunited with Ava Gabor to reprise his role and return to Green Acres. Later he returned to his parents' home here in Laurel, but continued to do occasional movies and TV shows. In April of 2020, Lester died from complications of Parkinson's disease. He was 81, and here we go. Right there. And there you can see how fresh it is because that's still there. How cool. Like normally when you see a grave that has a marker of 2020 on it, you assume that it was from everything that's going on in the world today, but Parkinson's, man, that's a tough one. That's a crappy way to go. We'll get one more look at this. So that's it. That's the grave of Mr. Tom Lester right there. And if you made it this far, as usual, I can't say thank you guys enough for watching. You really don't know what it means to me that you enjoy the videos and the stuff that I do. And I hope that doing this we can learn a little bit about the people that we visit, and it's cool to pay the respects. And I know that not everybody can get out and do the things, and I'm glad that I can be your vessel to be able to pay the respects, to a man that deserved it. Not only was he a heavily religious man, but he was a great actor, and obviously, as we heard, he was very smart with a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry. Like, who would have thought that, right? Like, he could have done so much with that, but acting was his passion, right? That really was his calling, to do something like that, because nobody else could have gave us what he gave us in Green Acres, right? So with all that said, thank you guys again. And don't forget, down below, I have people that I subscribe to. Hey, go check them out. I have a members channel. I'll put that up right now. If that's something you can help out with, that's cool. And if not, that's cool too, because times are tough. Gas is high, everything's high, right? So just by watching these videos and sharing and liking and doing the things, that's great also. Like, I can't thank you enough for doing that. And the last thing, I have one new subscriber that I've added today, and that is Big Daddy's Mississippi. I think that's it. Gosh, I don't want to get your channel name wrong. Let me look one more time. Subscription. Yep, that's it. I got it right. Look at me go. And when I come through states and I do things, I kind of just touch on, you know, the graves or the historical thing that I go to. But a channel like Big Daddy's Mississippi, he lives here, he knows the place. So if there's anything, like he's been to some of the places that I've been to, like the lady in the rocking chair grave and all of that stuff, he knows his stuff. So go check him out, give him a follow, and look at everybody else that I've subscribed to, and let's get everybody, let's, you know, like, though I wouldn't subscribe if I didn't believe in them. And so I really want those channels to do well, if not better than me, right? Because really that's the true thing, is if you make it to be able to pull somebody out, you know, to help somebody out, to me that makes me feel, I don't know, better than you guys enjoying my content, if I can provide somebody some other thing. All right, so with all that said, thanks again. And you know what? You never know what you're going to find on the back roads. We'll see you guys on the next one. Sorry for the rambling. Sometimes that happens. Thank you.